So I mentioned a few days ago that I was going to make a video about how to rebuild these Hijacker Camper Jacks because there's no videos online showing how to fix them. Mine are all leaking from right here, this little plunger. There's two O-rings in there and they just wear down over time and they leak. Some other people have them leaking around here and on the back side, which is right here. I'm going to take this one right apart, drain all the fluid, put it back together, and I'll show you what the insides look like and what the seals look like. As for the seals, you can get kits for about $40 online, which are pretty expensive to rebuild one jack, or you can go on Amazon and buy yourself one of these for $20. This will rebuild probably 20 jacks, so there's no point buying $160 worth of seal kits when you can just spend 20 once. So to disassemble this one, there's a clip right there that you have to take off, and then the pin pushes out of the bottom, out this way, and then this whole unit will slide out of its tube. Once that's out, just make sure you got a cloth or something because it's going to bubble or something if there's pressure. Once you've got that out, there's a retainer clip right here that you have to get off. Take your drain or your release plug out first. Once you've got that retainer clip off, this whole cylinder right here, you can tap it out, and then there's little O-rings in here that just seal everything. If they're damaged, then you got to replace them. So I got the retainer clips off. Now it's ready to just be tapped out. Like literally that easy. Literally, yeah, easy. I'll slide it out and I'll show you what it looks like. So here's what it looks like. Doesn't look too bad, a little dirty. Seals don't look too bad, but I think this seal, and they're basically two end seals. I'm going to change them. They look a little questionable. That's pretty much all there is. I don't know how it works, but it works when the seals are good. So I got the first seal off, this one here. And that's the damaged one right there. This is going to be the replacement, and in this kit, it's upside down, but it's a 112. There we go. New seals are on. Pushed it back in. I pre-lubed all the seals just to help it slide in a little easier. And all I got to do is put the retaining clip back on and assemble the whole top end. So while I've got it all apart, this is the relief valve nut thingamajig. While I've got it here, I'm going to take it off. That's the old seal. This is the new one, and it was a 008. I know it says 800, but it's actually upside down. Now the two seals you've got to replace to stop this from leaking. There's one right in there, and then on the actual cylinder plunger, there's one here. Replace those. Give them a drop of oil before you put them back together. Helps it slide in a lot easier, and that 9 times out of 10 fixes it. So the two seals you'll need to replace that I was just mentioning, those are the bad ones, those are the new ones. They were a 110 was the small, and sorry, that wasn't a 110. That's a 011, and the other one was a 111. I'm not sure if those numbers relate to anything, but as you can see by this kit, there's enough in there to do quite a few jacks. So there we go. It's back together. Took me about, let's see, half an hour max. I did have to stop to put a band-aid on my pinky because I smashed it with that end of the ram, but whatever, shit happens. So it's all back together. I replaced 5 seals. There's about 3 or 4 more you could do on the very inside in here. I didn't bother because they looked good. Now all I got to do is refill it. I use a syringe and a hose. I fill the syringe with the fluid, or the brake power steering fluid I'm using. Just put it in there, fill up the container, and then you got to prime it. There's a method shown online that works. I'll tell you about that in a second. So to properly prime one of these jacks, I read online what you do is you, with the valve closed, your release valve here, extend the jack all the way to its max height. Once it's maxed out, open the release valve about 3 turns, and let the jack sit for about 3 minutes. Once it's 3 minutes has passed, push the jack back down to its shortest position, close the release valve, and then just pump the jack up a foot to make sure it's working.